Hello. I just finished reading Tough Guy by Rachel Reed. So this is the third book in the Game Changers series and I really really liked it. Okay. I I don't know if I like it more than Game Changers. I really liked Game Changers. That's partially because I'm very biased towards Stucky fan fiction. But I did really like this one as well. I thought it was really fun. If you've seen my Heated Rivalry book review, you know that I didn't really like Heated Rivalry. And I think that's just because I genuinely got really bored and sick of how much smut is in that book. I was like, it's too much. It's too much. I'm definitely a feelings before sex kind of person when it comes to reading, and there's just none. And it takes halfway through this book until you finally get to an actual smut scene, and I was like, oh my gosh. Wow, people who have discussions about their feelings before they get into anything. I just really liked it. I feel very seen by Ryan Price. I have horrible anxiety, really, really bad anxiety. And so to sort of get into Ryan's head and see, read about all the little things that he overthinks, I'm like, I do that. I feel so seen right now. And I did like that. My one complaint, and it's not on this book for the most part. It's on me and what I've been reading recently. I've been reading a lot of Ali Hazelwood, her Love Hypothesis trilogy. And the thing about those books is that it's always a big beefy burly man and the tiniest skinniest woman you can imagine possible. And I got really sick of that pairing really quickly because it's always talking about how much bigger the guy is and how he can basically swallow her whole with his whole body essentially. And that's sort of the vibes that I got from this. The only difference is that we've had different couples with different size and personality dynamics, and so this is the big beefy burly guy and a femboy, a tiny femboy is what this book is. But and I can mostly ignore it for the most part. They just kind of just talk about how much taller Ryan is than Fabian. But when I look at this cover, I'm like, oh my god, he kind of looks like Fabian kind of looks like a child in this cover. He's so much shorter than Ryan. It's kind of ridiculous. I got so sick of those big beefy burly dudes with somebody who's much smaller that I think I just got sort of sick of that pairing dynamic. And that's not on Rachel Reed, that is fully on me and just what I've been reading recently. That wasn't purposeful or intentional either. I did not know what I was getting into when I read any of Ali Hazelwood books, and I did not like them. But this is just I don't know. They seem not to mention it as much. Sometimes they'll just be it's harder for Fabian to kiss Ryan because Ryan's so much taller, and basically Ryan has to hunch down to kiss Fabian, but it's fine for the most part. But I had so much fun with this book. I don't know, I think it's just sort of the dynamic that they had, but also just the way that they talk about other characters that we've already met. They talk about Scott, and then obviously from Heated Rivalry, it's we know that Ryan and Ilya used to play together, and then this happens, and it's clearly it happens at the same time as part of Heated Rivalry, because the announcement about the charity comes out in the middle of this book, and then people have a whole discussion about when the fuck did Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov become friends. And then when Harvey commits suicide, and I mean, I doubt they were the only two people, but for the most part it was not a whole lot of people came to Harvey's funeral, and it seems Ilya was the only person that Ryan recognized. And the reason why Ilya came is because his mother also committed suicide. But that was just an interesting tidbit that they kind of they don't hate each other, but it's kind of they're kind of becoming friends. And then at the end, where in the epilogue, where it's he's now a part of their charity, and stumbles upon finding out that Ilya and Shane are dating, he's you know what, I'm over here gushing about my boyfriend all the time, I'm just gonna leave. So I do find that really fun. I don't know what to talk about. It's such a cute book. I think that the conflict, because it's there's not a whole lot of conflict in this book. It's very slice of lifey, where it's like it's a meet cute. They like meet again after years, and they hang out and they develop a relationship from that, and it does start to form this head in, you know, like Fabian's hate of hockey and him thinking that it's not good for Ryan, and Ryan's insecurity of feeling like he's not good enough for Fabian, but also his insecurity of being like, if I don't have hockey, what do I have? And it's like, it was a very justifiable argument, and like it definitely like solved itself in a very romantic like rom-com movie way of they don't talk to each other for weeks, but like things happen outside where it's like they realize that they both kind of fucked up within the argument. It's like Ryan sort of realizes through finding out what happens to Harvey that like this is what Fabian was afraid of, and then Fabian, talking to Vanessa, realizes that he probably shouldn't have just straight up left Ryan if he was so concerned about Ryan and his possible addiction to painkillers. And so, I thought that was very interesting. Of course, like, they meet again later on when Ryan goes to Fabian's show. And so it's just like, this is like, I don't know, for me, this is the most like typical Hollywood rom com, and I normally don't vibe with those, but I do vibe with this. Maybe it's in reading format, and I think I just like that more. It's also because they're not straight, so maybe that's why I like it more, but it definitely feels more like rom-com-y than anything else in like the most typical Hollywood fashion, and I found it fun. I found it really cute. Like, it was enjoyable. Like, they're just such a cute couple. They're so cute, and I do like, I don't know how the series in and of itself is progressing, because it's like, in a way you could read these books, I think besides Long Game, you could read these books in any order. Like, you probably didn't have to start with Game Changers. Like, I think you could still get context from other things if you were like, I just want to read Heated Rivalry, or I just want to read Tough Guy, or something like that. And I think that's what I like about these books. And Ali Hazelwood is definitely the same way with her books. Sorry, I'm comparing them too, but like, I just recently read like all of the Love Hypothesis trilogy. And it's definitely like, that was not something that I'd never really read series like that before, where it's like, it's books in a series, but they're all revolving around different couples. And I like wasn't sure, because I was so focused on being like, I have to read these in chronological order, and it's like, you kind of don't. And I think like this one is, oh, I think it actually is my favorite. Like, I do appreciate Game Changers, and the fact that that one is what introduced me to logical adults having logical discussions, which is why I think part of the reason why I just didn't like Heated Rivalry. And I'm like, given they are much younger than everybody else, like these two are in their 30s, and so like they are having logical discussions for the most part. Like, the argument and the conflict that occurs like is something that two grown adults with concerns would have, and thus create some kind of conflict of, I'm worried about you, you don't seem to be worried about yourself, I don't want to see you sort of like destroy yourself within this, so I'm gonna leave. And like, that seems like a more, like, it's not good, but it's like a more logical conflict than just two guys who have been fucking since they were 17 years old, and they're both too afraid to tell each other that they love each other, so they just keep messing with their feelings in this weird way, and it just, ugh. And they have sex like every 6 pages. Oh my god. Yeah. Ugh. But yeah, like, I definitely liked this one. I have heard not great things about Common Goal. I've just heard it's boring. So I'm still gonna read it. Like, I have it sitting on my TV stand, so I'm still gonna read it. I'm gonna try and like speed read the rest of these and hopefully finish them by the end of the summer. This video will probably not come out in the summer. It's July. But that's my goal, I think, is to like speed read these throughout the rest of the summer and then finish them, because I don't know, I'm definitely getting more into it. I think I'm getting the hype now. I think that's my constant thing, is me being like, do I get the hype? Like, they're not my favorite books in the world. Like, usually my spiel is that I'll read something and I'll be like, if I love it that much, I will physically purchase like for the most part, like me buying Game Changers and Heated Rivalry was a rarity. Like the reason why I bought Game Changers is because I couldn't get it in physical format from the library. Like I genuinely couldn't. They didn't have it available. They only had it on like ebook and audiobook, and I don't like reading things besides fan fiction on my laptop, and I don't do audiobooks. Like I cannot pay attention for shit if I'm listening to something because I constantly have earbuds in my ears with like music playing that like me trying to like focus on something in my ears is not going to work. And Heated Rivalry, there were like 40 holds on like 5 copies. Like I was never going to get that book within a reasonable time. So I just bought both of those. But for the most part, like I usually wait to like buy a book until after I've read it, which is why my book collection is significantly smaller than the DVD. Although I have actually seen all of these, but like usually like I'll just sometimes be like that movie looks cool, let me purchase it, and I will not do the same thing with books. But like I would consider buying this. This is not mine. This is my sister's. I borrowed all of her other books cuz she bought the entire series. But like I would consider purchasing Tough Guy. Like I did genuinely enjoy it. Like I would definitely add that to my book collection. So I did not keep Heated Rivalry though. I gave that to pals. I was like, nah, I'm never reading this book again. I still have Game Changers though, but I got rid of Heated Rivalry. I was like, nah, I don't want to keep this. But this was short and sweet. I will be honest, like it took me a minute to read it just because I was reading it at work, and people like to distract me at work, so it's almost like I have to do my job. But yeah, like I said, like it was really cute. It's just a cute story, and like I like how they interact. I would have loved an actual scene of Fabian taking Ryan back home to watch his parents' actual legit reaction to like fully believing and saying that Fabian is dating Ryan Price. I think that would have been chef's kiss, but it's fine. We have what we got. But I think those are all of my thoughts for Tough Guy. Let me know if you have read Tough Guy and what you thought of it. I will be reading Common Goal and all the other ones, so those reviews will be coming out when I don't have a movie review planned, is essentially how the book reviews get released. So yeah, like, subscribe. Bye bye.